Hey everybody, and welcome to Love and Chickspace. I am Mama Void, your resident simp and auto battle queen.
I'm Nikki T, industry vet, here to ruin everyone's fun with spreadsheets and strategy. Just a gentle reminder, we didn't get the Enlightenment until we could drink water and not have to turn our water into alcohol to survive. Just to put it into context.
Gentle note for humanity. We only been sober for a few centuries.
Yeah, not that long, y'all. It's cool. We've done a lot in those few centuries. We've made otome games.
We've made otome games. We were like, you know what? Digital boyfriends are the way.
They're the bomb. What up, Mama Void?
Hey, Nikki. Long time no see.
Long time no chat. One of the things I do love about this game and the lore, and I appreciate all of the people who put up the big videos and all the write-ups on Reddit and such. My Chinese mythology is terrible, I'm not gonna lie, unless it's around like Buddhist deities and things like that. So for me, it's always really fun and interesting to be able to go and be like, oh, that's cool, that's different, it's not something I've encountered. And I very much appreciate that, like, none of that has been changed, aside from localization. Well, I'm going to say translation. The game is localized. It's not really culturalized, which I'm kind of okay with, so that I can learn all the cool story stuff and go research things. So I do appreciate that about this title.
I always have a debate against localization and the cultural aspect.
Oh, have you heard of GILT? GILT? Not the other kind of guilt I know that you're telling yourself, or that Caleb has all the time.
No, I was thinking GYLT, the video game with the tiny girl running in the dark because she left a friend to die or something of the like, you know. Side note, little girl, little nightmares.
Little girls running in horror. We love that.
It's not like it's not on the daily.
True. GILT is shockingly considered fairly new among, shall we say, translation industries. It's not even that. It stands for globalization, internationalization, localization, and translation, which are 4 separate things. And people often get very confused. So globalization is literally taking something and making it accessible to all. I am, by the way, summarizing this. Internationalization is making it so that it is accessible but retains sort of its cultural significance and region. Localization has to do with written word or spoken word, and you localize something so that from language A to language B. However, you do also localize idioms and phrases and things so that they can be understood in the culture. And translation is pure rote. Word A equals word A in other language. You're seeing a lot of it in games going beyond this concept of just like, we're going to localize it, we're just going to translate. So it's a cool thing. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So here's the example that I want to ask. When you see in fan translations for manga, and they'll have the person's name and then the dash and the sun, or the kun, or the chan, when they keep that, which is that of what you just said? Is that globalization? Is that...
I tend to consider that one globalization. The reason being, if you were to translate it raw, it would be what we would usually say Mr., Miss, right?
Yeah.
Globalization is leaving it in the sense of, we know what we're trying to infer, that there is no direct translation or kind of culturalization for it in the other language. So we're still honoring it as it is. So that's why I put it in the globalization bucket.
Got it. That makes sense to me, which I prefer. I like when there's bits of culture left in the translation, because I'm reading something from a different culture, or I'm watching something from a different culture. So I don't want to lose that aspect. And granted, I'm saying this as someone who, in the grand, epic, endless dub versus sub wars, who is firmly on the sub side.
I
Except
never would have guessed. One of the things that I've read this too for Love and Deepspace is, can we choose which voice for each LI? Like, can I have this one in Chinese and this one in Japanese and this one in English? Which I think would be a great thing to add. But yeah, it's like, could you do that on anything that you watch? All right, we're coming to the end of our Beach Boys saga. And I finally have all 5. Go me. Yay! I did it. Wishing helped. And then we'll talk about those extra 15 wishes I got thanks to Gamescom later. But of the 5, and I think I know what your response is going to be, who was your favorite beachy memory?
Okay.
Does it involve
So,
sea gangsters?
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Silas is my number 1 for a lot of things. He's my baby. But it's for me a very hard tie because I loved Silas's memory, thought it was adorable, loved that he got irritated the entire time because everybody kept, like, interrupting. He's like, "I'm just trying to
Hey,
be with my girl.
hey.
If you could all I can't murder you, she'll be sad. So if you could just go away." Loved that vibe off of him. But I also thought Raphael's was so good.
Did you choose to carry him or did he carry you?
I mean, I've done both versions, and I
But I
enjoyed
mean,
both versions for
I
various different
was like,
reasons.
girl, you get him.
Oh, no, yes, I was very much on the "I can lift my princess, don't you mind me." Um, "Baby girl, come to me."
It's
Uh,
so good. It's
it's
so
so
good. I
good, and
love
I
it
mean
so much.
and I'm not here to pick on anybody, but all the drama over it, and it's like, "He's less masculine because you picked him up." What? That boy is still fully masculine in all the ways that
Again,
matter. It's
how
fine.
how how tall is MC supposed to be, by the
That is an excellent question,
way?
and
I
it
just
always
realized that
feels
because
like it varies between LIs because 'cause they're like, "This is her one
yeah,
height," and I'm like, "I know," but then I see her in a scene with Silas, and she looks like a midget, but then you put her next to Caleb, and it's almost like they're eye to eye, and I'm like, "What size is she next to who?"
I know, exactly. As a short person, as you know,
Really?
I'm like, "Yeah, I would lift you. I will do it. I don't care." Ah!
Throws her back out, we both die in the fire.
I mean, hey, I have figured out how to carry my friends out of a fire.
I mean, you also have an emergency protocol book to call my mom in case of situations like,
That's how
scenario
long I've known.
64.
Again, I've going back to our initial discussion of people with stable families, Zayne. You're the one with the stable family. I gotta figure, and I will say this again. I have no qualms calling your mother to be like, well, the void did some stupid shit. This is what happened. It wasn't my fault, is always the important part. And I've taken care of the situation. It is your father I worry about. And I will leave it at that. There's a reason I have a protocol book. It's like, okay, we're good.
You're like, "I will leave mom to tell him that. I will not."
Exactly. Yeah.
My father is lovely. He just looks
He is
scary.
lovely. No, but I love you. It like not for a podcast. Anyway.
We're not gonna break down family dynamics, honey, right
No.
now.
No, we could talk about the 5 of them and their family.
But our personal ones, look, he's a
Who's
marshmallow for me. That's all
yeah,
I'm saying.
exactly. Like, the big thing is, oh, if we were to put families and, allies, like, you have the Zayne family. It's great. I love it. Fabulous. I think I'm more the Sylus family side. I have a Luke and Kieran. I'm great. And I have a black cat that hangs out with me. Solid. Everything else is cool. Like, really good. Really good.
Silas family is in his parents. We don't know they exist. We don't
Good.
know where they come from.
It's fine. I'd be hanging out in time prison, just being like, I'll fuck around with some people, see how I get out. Yep. Party. I'm down for that.
I know you are. You're down for the cause. I
I'm
appreciate
down for
that.
the cause. But yeah, I'll have like, yeah, again, Auntie Talia, not really my vibe. Xavier is an asshole to his friends, let's admit it.
Oh
And
god, his jealousy with Jeremiah.
oh, dude, it kills me. I'm like, the man's a florist. He just wants to live with his lady who gets crushed in a building. And then Caleb is, as we know, Caleb.
Is Caleb, and that
Caleb.
is a full sentence. Don't need to explain it any further.
I don't need, especially when it comes to family dynamics.
Poor
like,
Gideon.
Grandma got a bird. Oh yeah, I love Gideon.
Gideon's awesome. And also, it's just Gideon's sitting here going, Can you just
Can you just chill, buddy? How
rein
was
it
that
in a
week in
little?
Deepspace when you were floating around and came back with a couple broken ribs? You cool?
What
I
do you
feel
mean?
like I feel like Gideon though is like our relationship a little bit of just like watching and just gonna be like, I'm just gonna accept that happened and just move
You know.
on. Gideon just is like, yep, and
Yep.
moves on. I want to be like, yo, Gideon, your homie got a chip in his head, and I feel like Gideon would storm the goddamn castle for
He
Caleb.
would.
He would.
Like, I
So I'm like,
think
where's
Caleb doesn't fully understand, like, how loyal Gideon is to him because he's so, like,
such a good dude?
over here in his
You know
head.
who's a shitty dude?
Hmm.
Carter.
Oh, God, Carter.
How did your final polls go? And yes, I did name the algorithm after Carter and our fine friends at the Fountain of Atay.
I mean, it's pretty on point. I couldn't argue with Carter in the basement. Carter's in Ever's basement, and he's making everybody's lives difficult. I'm at
Ugh.
170-something days since I've seen Forever Seal.
No, how many? Sorry, one more time so that the audio picks it
I don't have an accurate count, but we've definitely gone beyond 170 days, and I would really like to have Forever Sealed in Carter.
I know. Wow.
Um,
Wow.
I'm
He's
not.
just
I'm
a
not bitter.
scientist.
I'm not bitter. It's fine. He deserves it.
He does.
Carter deserves to be punched, if not shot. But that's beside the point. Uh, the point was we ended out, as I said, I had some pretty miraculous bowls. So we ended out with Caleb and Sylus being fully ranked. I got both Zayne and Raphael to R2, and then I got my copy of Xavier. Oh, I think he's R1.
Who's bathing
Yes, he's
suits? That's the question.
who's bathing suits. I think I'm in the everybody but Xavier boat. Because he decided to come late to the party, and then I was like, well, I need to save money for the next go round, so sorry, Xaviekins.
Yeah. So I got Zany Pingu up to fabulous R4. I have Caleb and Sylus. So I have the Crow and the Holy Step Bro at 2. Raph I got to 2. And Xavier same. Came right at the end, and I was like, cool. Sorry, buddy. Somebody's birthday's coming up.
Which is really funny for me because when I first started this game, everything was Xavier. All the time Xavier. Nothing but Xavier. And I was like, if you could just give me some Zayne and some Raph, it'd be great. I'm appreciating this jealousy kink we've got going, Xavier, but if we could just pull it back. And now he's like, no, now I'm playing hard to get. And I'm going, well, that's going to cost you in the long run.
Yeah. Somehow, I finally got the 2 achievements this round for Raphael having 10 5-star memories. Xavier having 10. Still not Zayne.
Which is hysterical
I'm
because
like,
he's your
how?
favorite.
How? I have been, this is going to sound bad, I have been grinding that man so hard.
I know.
And it's just,
Ask yourself why Raphael is the highest in affinity.
because he knows how to show up on the scene.
He
That man
does.
knows an entrance.
He does. He absolutely does. And I'm just sitting there going, Raph, honey, I love you. I really do. You're my number 3, but Mama really would like to get Sylus up and Caleb up. If you could just like hold it back just a little.
Just for like 10 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, just fishykins, I know you're needy, but
Fishykins. Oh, fishykins. I know life is hard.
life is hard. You're so dramatic, and I adore you.
I think you need to update him in your phone.
It's fishykins. That's where he's going now.
Oh, fishykins. But I'm saving up for someone's birthday. Because
yes.
I'm
I know
hoping.
I'm sitting on
This is going to be so tragic.
I'm not prepared. I am emotionally so not prepared for this because Zayne is already just a little angst ball, and I'm like, I just want you to be happy for 5 minutes, honey. That's all I need from you.
Is it nature versus nurture? His parents totally fine. You got the good job. The cool friends, and we're just
Fractal Library shows up, and Zayne is like, "This is why we can't have nice things."
I know. I know. I love the Fractal Library.
The Fractal Library is so good. And then you're in a graveyard, and he's like, I'm about to have a moment. I'm like, girl, boy, if you so much...
Swear to God, if you leave this graveyard right now, son,
if you break up with me right now, I'm going to shoot you in the knee, and we're going to have a conversation. Yes. No. But no, it's the myth is just gonna be they've made it clear, they're going, "Hey, we kinda made you cry the first round, now we really, really wanna hit you in the grief space."
On that note, do you wanna keep talking myths? Do you wanna talk Gamescom? Do you wanna talk both? Or King of Dark Knight? You tell me, you're in charge, remember?
That was a poor decision. Want to talk about the myth, but I think I wanna hold until we actually have some sort of hint
I
or
know.
video so that we can
Something.
truly deep dive into it other than Zayne, long hair, once more with feeling, unless they wanna go complete opposite because they already did Master of Fate where he had his lovely ponytail.
I
So
don't think
chic.
that counts as long hair. I'm
Um,
sorry. It literally looks like Zayne. Totally the same. I get it, but it's like, I comb my hair back and wet it a little bit. I'm like, "What do you use, man? Do you have styling cream? Are
hair
you a
down to his butt,
clay?"
but it doesn't matter.
No, because it's does Zayne need Pi to show up to do his hair like Raphael has Fish doing his? No. The second you need someone to do your hair, have multiple products, have a conditioning regimen, some scalp massages, sorry, that's when it counts as long hair.
That's when we've achieved that's the bare minimum. If you're just tying it
Mhm.
back with some leather or string and it's hanging past your butt, that is not long hair. That's a cheap shot.
I
Got it.
didn't say it was
Note
a
to
cheap
self.
shot.
Note to self. Granted, I saw
Says the
that picture.
person who has hair. How long's my hair right now? 2 inches?
It's a lovely little fluffy mohawk. It's the murder hawk.
This is why I want them to have hawks. I want MC to have a hawk, but I think dude, Caleb with a full punk mohawk? Come on.
I mean, he's got the leather.
They all technically have the
That was kind of like
You
the
don't
mullets were fine, but we could have had a
I
mohawk.
officiated a wedding with a mohawk. Come on.
You did. You did. You
I
fully
couldn't
committed to
fit in my
that bit.
car, but I looked great.
You looked amazing. Um,
Mohawks for all. Free the forehead, add mohawks. That's my Mohawks 2025.
that's your moment. Um, you've seen that picture of vampire Sylus, right? With the long white hair and like
I mean, that could
they
be almost any photo, but sure.
but it's we're dialed up to 11. Like Spinal Tap 11, the eyes are literally glowing and his hair is just like
I'm sure you
I'm
have it saved
a
as a background somewhere.
I may have saved it. I may have downloaded it. He looked so pretty. How could I say no? And right next to the F1 picture that had the abs. Look, I am a simple creature. I see Silas and I'm like, oh, joy, dopamine in my sad little life. Download. And then the next boy comes and I'm like, download. So, my life is filled with pictures of digital men and I'm all the better for it.
You are all the better for it.
So, transitioning to a new topic. Um,
Doing good, Captain.
steering this ship right
Yes,
over a
Colonel.
fall. Colonel, but I don't have the hat. I want the
That
hat.
can be easily fixed.
Um, for this episode, I really wanted you to have a moment to discuss the controversy that's been going around Gamescom and Xavier's myth, because I've been seeing it pop up in the YouTube space on several creators' channels. And I thought, okay, they have some interesting takes, but you're actually a veteran of the gaming industry. You actually kind of understand some of the decisions that are being made. So I thought it would
I
be
can see some of the decisions that were made. I don't understand. So I'm just gonna put
you
that
may
out
not
there.
agree you may not agree, but you
I
can
may not
kind of see
agree.
you
I
I'm
see
not
the
saying you
thought process.
agree, but you can see
I
the
know.
thought process around what's being done, why it was done. Was it from your perspective a good decision, a poor decision? So I wanted to kind of have this, I don't know, schoolhouse rock moment. Uh, be like, "Hey,
Welcome to
Nikki,"
class.
and I wanted to kind of just get your interpretation of what's happening because I don't even fully understand what's going on and why
Mhm,
some of the girlies are kind of up in arms over Xavier.
mhm.
Granted, again, I'm the auto battle queen, so I'm not actually trying to fight with him. I'm just here for the golden flowers and then flying in the air and staff of doom. And the hair. Like, simple creature over here.
He has a conditioning regimen.
He does.
He does.
Organic,
Yes. All right.
herbal, uh,
All of it.
all of it.
I'm not gonna lie. So I saw the initial sort of, shall we say, hullabaloo around Xavier, King of Dark Knight. People were pissed, and then suddenly there was a lawsuit in China. And I will say it's been actually hard to find a lot of information in the Western sphere. And speaking of our translation, localization, legal documents are things you don't want to run through Google Translate when you do find them. King of Dark Knight launched about a month ago, well, 2 months ago, and people were upset. There was a law firm in China that actually filed on behalf of consumers a false advertising claim. And basically, the claim itself is that the promotional materials that were provided for Xavier, King of Dark Knight, did not match what was released as the actual product. The second portion of this is we're going to talk about Paper Games, the company, and there was just a bunch of silence about what happened. This wasn't what was, promised. And if you are an Infinity Nikki player, you might remember that also from the 1.5 update. So, what has been documented, seen, and noted? There's a fantastic YouTube video from Lujin who really did a great job of talking about the breakdown of what the controversy was, what people have seen. She's a battle girly too, so she's fantastic. She reports bugs. And there's two things that have kind of occurred. The first is this question of false advertising. In the US, you'll notice whenever there's a game trailer or most any product that comes out, you'll see something like use as directed or this is captured from in-game footage. If you look at a lot of the trailers that come out for lads, it's missing that line. That's what we call a legal line. And so that gets you into really sticky trouble from the perspective of, is it considered false advertising because someone forgot to just put the note? The only understanding that I have is that Paper Games came out in a post. I don't know if it was on a forum or an email. I saw the photo of the message that was, these videos are promotional videos only. Please wait until the final release. And this is where the false advertising element comes into play. We always had a rule of you need to make terms and conditions and things for a 5-year-old who can't read. And the reason being is it has to be assumed by common sense for a consumer to understand. That is a lot of assumptions. The
I was
word
gonna say,
assume,
common
common sense,
sense?
right. And that's
Really?
where the flexibility in the law kind of comes from. So, was it actually false? What did they say? You will get A and delivered B. Were you purposely deceived? And then the big thing is, would it have affected your purchase decision? And so what's going on is the idea is that consumers would not have spent as much if they were told other skills were done in a different way. And truly, what this looked like to me is that it forgot a legal review. Like, literally, if they had just added the line on the trailer, this is captured in game footage, subject to change by final release, it would cover them. It would be the biggest CYA. It's interesting to see what will happen in this case. One, from a, hey, we need to change how we do our marketing perspective. Two, how do we launch things? Three, how do we communicate? Talking about the silence from Paper Games, not only was there discrepancy between trailer and launch, but after launch, many people had a bug or a bugged state of King of Dark Knight. And I mean, some of them are some intense bugs. Like, you have to have this activated at this point to do XYZ not occur, does bypasses defense stat, right? Um, However, you are a game publisher, and these things should be caught as best as they can. Or I have noticed, at least in the social space as well as the news spaces, this has died down. You have mentioned it kind of on the YouTube front. I'm not sure if we're going to hear an update from Paper Games. The marketing aspect of responding to issues like this is very different in East versus West marketing. We might remember the launch of Cyberpunk. That was a very bugged release.
That was a horrible
Same
release.
thing.
Oh, dear.
But it was fixed. But there was a lot more communication that came out of CDPR from that side. I'm just going to say it's more common for Western publishers to to even make the statement of "we hear you, we're doing something about it," versus where I will say Eastern publishers not so much. That's one of the challenges nowadays when we're talking about, shall we say, AAA, triple I, triple M, whatever you want to call it in this case of mobile, when titles have to hit dates for marketing and revenue purposes. And it is now kind of starting to bite developers in the ass a little bit. We'll find out.
I feel like that legal line is a high probability, at least, because you and I have had past conversations about what goes on behind the scenes to get a game from, "Hey, I got a neat idea," to actually releasing it upon whatever platform.
Game developers are still people. And the dude that is coding could have accidentally hit an extra hash mark that totally messes up the whole thing. But as we've discussed, it's a gacha game. It releases in 2 to 4 week cycles, and they have 3 days to make their money, right? And mind you, it's not like they're like, "Okay, guys, we just finished the beach. We have 7 days to do Zayne's birthday." I'm sure there has absolutely been a team that's been working on it for months. But of course, as you get close to crunch time, stuff happens. It just happens. And something gets missed, the mistakes are made. It's how you deal with those mistakes that's the most important.
Love and Deepspace has one of the most intense release calendars I've ever seen. Now, granted, I am not a gacha queen. I don't this is
You
literally
sweet
the
summer child,
I
intense
know.
release calendar. Oh my
This feels
god.
intense to me
I
as
know
someone
it
who's never,
does. Oh, I know
uh
it.
who knows? I don't this is literally the only gacha game I've ever played in my life, and it's probably super telling that was because I saw Sylus and went, "Ooh, what is this?" And granted, I was still late to the party because he was released much earlier, and I only figured it out or saw him, in November, and I think I started playing right before it was the week of Thanksgiving because I downloaded the game and
Oh,
then
that's why
went,
I didn't see you that week. Got it.
"Yeah, it was pretty much, 'Mom, this stuffing is great.' I need to get to Sylus. I have 7 chapters to get through. This is just ridiculous." There was a lot of grinding that week. Um,
God, so much.
so yeah, does it all become clear now?
It does.
It's
The trailer for Zane's birthday event just came out. Finish your thought, and then we can watch it and talk about it.
screw my thought. The thought didn't matter. Zayne is here. Zayne must be.
Okay, do you want me to pause said recording and so we can watch and then talk about it?
Maybe I should finish my thought. But for me, as a layman, it just feels intense, especially when you're trying to budget. Holy cow. And again, I am a spender, but even I budget. And even I'm going, "Guys, I'm going to have to sell a kidney. Please stop. Give me a moment. Give me a breather." It feels just one after the other. And granted, part of my fault is being a harem girly.
I think one of
That's,
the things that drives me nuts, and we've spoken about this, I'm very shocked that they do not have a calendar.
yes, I would like a release calendar. I don't even care if it's like, you don't even need to put dates. I just want to know the order. Like, I don't you can fudge around on the dates, that's fine. I just wanna know what order these things are coming in so I can budget appropriately and be like, "I would really like this card, however, Silas is next week," and that's a
But
thing.
if you budget appropriately, you won't spend what they want.
I know, it's
Oh.
the predatory portion of the gacha mechanics. I'm just
Mhm.
saying, give me a calendar. So anyway, Zane,
I was like, is there anything else you would like to ask me on this part before
nope,
I
don't break
start?
promise has occurred. Everyone, hold, pause, it's 1 minute 42 seconds. Just put it on. We'll see what happens. We can comment, live tweet. I don't know. I just need to see what's happening.
Do you have it on your phone or do you want me to send
I
it to you?
do. There's snow. There's snowman.
Okay.
There's a cake. Oh my god, the cake.
Mute yourself. Oh no, you're fine.
Screw it. I'm in it.
I'm in it.
Son, I will not hold back. Oh my god.
They have carrot noses.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I
That was
don't
a
either.
sacrifice on his part.
And it's his birthday.
Why is it? Don't you bring angst into this house. There is snow. There's a snowball fight. Don't you dare.
Are you alive? You okay? Yeah. You okay? Don't bring angst in this house.
We're kissing in a snow globe. Let me have my moment.
Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt your simping.
Outfit is cute. Oh, the cakes are glorious. I'm gonna have some. Oh, the snowman's catching things. I love that game. The mini games they do are great. We approve. I'm gonna lose my mind.
I like his boots. I need a new myth. Fuck the birthday. I mean, happy birthday, homie, but fuck.
Baby,
Cute
I love you,
headband.
but I need the myth. And I'm sitting
know,
there going, oh my god, there's a snow globe and we're kissing and it's a little snowball fight. And did you see the
The cake is cute. Okay, so the event starts on August 31st. So this is the immediate follow-up. So we're taking her to the Arctic again. Oh my god, does that mean Pie's gonna be there? Sorry, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Somebody quoted, it's like a Hallmark movie.
It is! I saw that. I was like, oh god, it's a Hallmark Christmas special, but there's Zayne, so I forgive it.
And I am not the only person who commented on the boots, thank you.
I'm not saying you were wrong to comment on the boots. I just think it's hysterical that that's your opener. Out of
And
all
the
of that, you're
snowmen
like
have
boots. And the snowmen have carrot noses. Those
All
were
right.
those were what you came in on.
Into Blue Mist, who said, good luck, Zane girlies. May RNG bless you. Thank you.
I'm manifesting for you, honey. Your husband is here.
I feel like you're also pulling on this one after that reaction.
Oh, I'm pulling. Don't you mistake. As I said, at the end of the day, I am a harem girly.
Oh, the cakes are adorable. Snow globe cake. Done.
See? Like, I was like,
why is there a snowman on a beach cake? That feels wrong.
Suddenly it's Olaf melting.
I know, except I'd be like, melt. If you were wondering how the two of us play this game, this is a great example.
You just saw that all live. That's reality. Yeah. That couldn't get more real.
God, we're kissing in a snow globe, and I'm like, yeah, cool. So what's the battle portion? I don't have Master Fate.
Look, the back of my head was absolutely right there going, I wonder what color this memory is, because that's totally going to dictate if I fully rank it or not.
Isn't it going to be a little weird if it's not blue? Because it's snow?
I don't know.
Also, guys, why do we have to put Dawnbreak? I'm scared.
I'm so scared. It's just really sweet kissing in a snow globe, and then suddenly he cracks out and becomes Dawnbreaker and starts killing everybody around them in the snow. And she's running.
Doctor, no.
And she's fleeing into the woods. Like, suddenly this became a whole different genre of a memory. It's like, dude, except that it's just snow. It's sometimes
I'm like waiting for a little thorns
and we're not
to
gonna
like
break out
come
into
in.
Dawnbreaker like a seizure and just start like I said wanderers, murder! Like, it's just sometimes it's a cake.
Hey, man. Dude, come on. Neon Knight is like, hey, we're buying stuff at the mall, and then now suddenly he's jumping off a roof. And it's the one time the doctor outfit looks good.
That is a relevant point, but sometimes it's a birthday myth, and it's not going to be angsty because it's a birthday myth. Like, let the birthday...
Gone through one birthday myth, thank you. And that was Caleb's. And I mean, that was iffy. That was iffy to begin with.
That was alright. Like, it was so good, and you're just sitting there, you're hoping at the end of Caleb's birthday myth, you're like, don't be the plunger kisses, don't be the plunger kisses,
and it was
please.
The plunger. I was like, when it was talking about it, and I was like, oh, I get what she's talking about.
And then you listen and you're like, oh, I suddenly understand what she's been saying every time. I start twitching out and going, plunger kisses, why?
I know
like,
what that
his
means.
DA is so good, and they do him so dirty. Because I'm like, put on chapstick, wet your lips. I don't know what's happening here, but something's just help a girl out. Because you started well. You had like 15 seconds of really good kissing sounds. And
these people have to be in a booth with headphones on in front of like 15 other people in a glass fishbowl being like, hey babe, do I kiss my hand? I asked about the planes. I'm like, how many times did you count to 100 airplanes? How many times? And did they have to be like redo 23 through 27? Like, come on. But I will say they all sound like they're having a good time. So
they're having a great
I want to know what the outtakes are. I want to know.
Oh, the outtakes are probably hilarious.
Bad.
Granted, I would totally be the one going, you get back in there and you give me better kissing. What is that? What was this? That is beneath you. You will go back in there. Here's some chapstick. Make it right. Like,
damn.
Who was a fantasy? You're like, what is this popping noise? Like, what is happening? Why, Caleb? Why?
This is what we call a parasocial relationship. Anyway,
Exhibit 1. My friend
exhibit. But going back to the snow globe that does not have dawn breaking through it or thorns crawling up it, I'm like, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna break it? What? I don't trust this. I do not trust this game for joy.
This is so sweet and cute. There's gonna be black ice and murder, isn't there? It's fine.
Oh, but going back to the happiness for you. So it looks like Zayne's new outfit matches the one that we just got from the last event
Yes, I
for
was noticing
MC.
that.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that for the birthdays, they are dropping her outfits sooner rather than later because they released the pink dress long before the video dropped for Raphael's birthday. And then you see it in the Raphael memory when the trailer drops. And I was like, oh, okay. And they did the same thing with Caleb because the blue dress was in the shop long before the video dropped. So you just go, oh, it's a dress. So they seem to be putting her outfit in sooner. And then in the event, they'll release his birthday outfit,
Yay.
which I'm fine with because I was like, you know what? I still made it work in the photo booth. I was like, we can do just fine.
So, so it starts on the 31st.
Yay! That's gonna be so much fun.
Sorry to interrupt your regularly broadcasted cogent thoughts.
You got our completely live and very real. Oh my god, the trailer dropped. BRB.
I was just thinking there was going to be a promise trailer, not a
yes, you and I were
birthday
talking
trailer.
about that, about the promise trailer, because they've only got 2 days. 2 days? 2
2
days.
days.
2 days left on the promise. So I'm curious as to who's next on the roster because we had we had my brain.
Are you
Zayne.
thinking of Caleb's abs again?
No, because I was like, no, because
And
I'm
now you're
remembering
thinking
the
of
past
Zayne's
couple of
abs.
promises in terms of because we
So the
had
last two were Xavier and Zayne.
yeah,
Before that, it was Raphael and
Sylus,
it was
because you had
Caleb's
Freefall
birthday.
Gambit, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
had
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Freefall Gambit. It's not one of my
you
favorites.
don't like Freefall Gambit?
Let me rephrase. The story's fun. I don't like his suit.
Okay, you know what? Given your history with suits, I will give you that. I understand that, and it's not to your taste, and that's fine. If you were about to say something about the story, you and I were about to have a conversation.
You and I were
But I
not
will.
going to be
You have a
friends.
very particular
I have very
sense of
particular
suits.
suits. Yes. Which is
So
why I appreciate a lot of Silas's outfits. And of course Zayne. I'm
Zane's
like 3-piece, man.
the
Fantastic.
best.
Look, my suit in gray, my suit in green, my suit with a jacket. And I'm like, you do you, boo. No one's gonna argue on that one. I swear to God,
My
he'd wear the
suit with
swimsuit.
no vest.
Yeah, no, he'd be like, my suit with a swimsuit. It's very him.
He knows what he looks good in and he sticks to it. He's on brand, he's on thing.
You
He does
know?
not have the executive function to have Raphael's closet. The man has to get up, put something on, go to the hospital for like 48 hours to save everybody from themselves, try to keep Grayson and together. And Yvonne is over there
No,
doing the thing.
dude,
But
nobody's got to keep Yvonne together.
no,
That
Yvonne's
woman,
got it.
she is.
She is
got it.
solid. She's good. Grayson is a minor problem. But we love
He's
that for him.
not. No, my favorite part of Grayson is how do I woo this hunter girl I like, which was my favorite part of the vows.
Oh, that was
The whole
so
thing.
cute. No, Grayson isn't a bad problem. He's a good problem. He's a
He's
corgi.
a
You
bad
just gotta.
problem.
He's a
Who's a
puppy. You
bad
just.
problem?
I mean,
I'm not the answer, but yes.
are you sure? No, you're a good problem, dear. I would have
No,
stuck with you for decades if you were a bad problem.
I mean,
I'm traumatized, but not in that way.
that's sweet. Thanks, friend.
I'm here for you, supporting.
Just gentle reminder: the storyline officially has left us in a graveyard with Zayne.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm
About
like
to break up with us. At least
Oh,
it feels that way. And
feels
I am
that way.
not here for that. Like the man is gonna get tied to a chair and we're gonna have a conversation.
I see why you like Caleb.
What's that? Oh God, what's that line? We're not breaking up. If you want to break up, go take a nap and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Like I was going, that's wrong, but right.
No, that is
ladies, you can't fix him.
agency. You can't fix him. You have agency. It's okay.
But again, I'm the kind of person who's like, oh, they're two stalkers stalking each other. It's so cute. I have problems.
I know we make fun of Sylus for looking like a Dorito and skipping leg day, but son, he can wear any tight shirt that he chooses. I'm like, it does not have to be tailored. I do have a question on the Conqueror outfit, though, of where is that belt? What is happening? The one that goes into the shirt? I don't understand.
God,
You know what
no,
I'm
no,
talking about?
no. Your claim to fame is still, hey, mama, what? Holds up phone. Is he a naked dragon? Going, I didn't put that together until this moment. I'm pretty sure he has pants. Maybe. No, look. Next outfit, the one that's with everything broken off because is a dragon. He doesn't lose the jacket. He loses the shoulder thing. You're like, no,
And
see,
the
that's
pants.
skin and that's still skin. Like, it's
I
not,
have a debate.
he's naked.
So I feel like every week now we're gonna have a conversation about someone's outfit, and it always comes into silence. So I
Fashion
don't
hour.
have. This is fashion hour. I feel like we need Raph here because I don't have, Dragon Silas and I have a Mrs. Sovereign, and so I forget what I was helping you on. It was either a hunter contest or an orbit, and so it does the little screen flash of I'm of course jokingly like, oh, he has no jacket to toss off, and then I'm looking at the art. And I'm like, wait a minute, he what? So he's scaly. He's black and scaly. Those are scales on his hips and his tail and his leg. What is torn and what is not? So I'm confused. I think he's a naked dragon.
He's a nudie dragon.
I think he's a nudie dragon.
He's just an exhibitionist in the middle of a battle, which he totally would. I'm not gonna lie. It's Silas. It wouldn't even phase him.
I mean, if I was a dragon or a sovereign or a fiend or whatever if I could crush people with evol of energy, I would also be a nudie dragon. Wouldn't you? I would be like,
I mean, in
check
general,
it,
like
punch.
the jacket would come off, the clothes burn. He would stand there totally naked and still punch it. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what era of Silas you're in. It's just who Silas is. He's like, I'm not afraid and have no shame. And I'm
No
like, I
shame.
appreciate that for you. I'm gonna need a jacket.
I mean, would you at that point? It's just like, you're dead.
We're all naked and dead.
Exactly. It's fine. Doesn't
It's
it?
fine.
So is it pants? Is it scales? I don't know. I don't.
Her questions.
I have
and you had
questions.
me. I was zooming in on this stuff, going, "Is
Yeah,
it?"
because it was a hard ask of you.
It was a very hard ask. But also because I genuinely, for once, was not thirsting. I was like, that looks like belts, but it's not belts. What
What is the
are they
belts?
pants?
Why does
Where
this
are they
man have
going?
so many belts and things that are sitting on things that don't make sense? I'm like, do you just fuck around with your evol and clothing? Which is fine if that's what you want to do. You do you, boo.
I mean, is
But
it a
there's so
Silas
many
outfit without
belts.
chains and belts? Like it's something about the hold the beast back. I don't know. We could do a lot of reading into that and maybe some AO3 fan fiction. But um, but it's just he's a nudie dragon. And I'm
I
like,
think
no,
he's a nudie
not.
dragon. That's just me.
Maybe he is a naked
I'm
dragon.
not mad about the nudie dragon. I just
No.
want to be very clear.
There are some logistical questions like air maintenance in the ocean that we have.
I'm asking for cosplayers. No.
Is that what we're selling this as? It's for cosplayers. It's for the team.
I'm doing it. I'm taking one for the
We're
team.
taking one for the team to ask the really hard-hitting questions, excuse me, Infold, about Xavier. That's one thing, but true important question here. Is he naked? I'm like, I don't know how to spot that, but I'm certain it's a thing and people
Thank
are
God
being
you
hurt.
don't have to write a bug report.
Oh, no, God, no. There's a reason why I didn't. I'm a humanities major for a reason.
So was I.
I know. And then you were
Just
like,
a
it'd be a great
reminder.
idea. Let me go into marketing. I was like,
for the record, no one chooses marketing. Marketing chooses you. I want to be really clear.
Like the Grim Reaper of marketing came down and went,
Dude,
Nikki,
you know what
your
marketing
soul
is?
is mine, lifted
Yeah,
you
no.
up, dropped you in a marketing department, and went, this is now.
All right, we're going to have a quick discussion about the various Zaynes. All right, Zayne becoming a doctor makes total sense. Dawnbreaker Zayne is marketing Zayne. That man did not choose his path. He was just put on it, and he is good at what he does, and he takes it for the team, okay? Medic of the Arctic Zayne, that man is a team player. He knows what he needs to do. He is the man who leads a team of technical people on a release. That's what we're looking at,
He's good at what he does, murders
He's great
everything.
at what he does. Yeah. Yeah, dude, he's got like Jira tickets for days, and he's like, "You, homie, you do this, we got this down.
You don't
All
learn to be
right,
a
we're
serial
good there."
killer, you're just born to it.
No, that was Dawnbreaker. Now we're
That's what I
talking
was
like
talking about.
Foreseer Zayne is the man who's doing like biz dev strategy. He's like, I'm really good at this. I can read up on things. He could be an analyst. I could see that. But that's where we're at. Master of Fate is totally that professor you have who's I'm just going to look you straight in the eyes and tell you how it is. And we're just going to move on. Okay.
Urgent help needed. Define urgent.
Exactly. Urgent help needed my ass. All right. Like, nope. Do you? Do you need help? That's what I thought, hun. No. Dawnbreaker Zayne did not choose Dawnbreaking. It chose him.
I will say, as much as we sit here and talk about how half the shit that comes out of Silas's mouth I've heard from yours in real life, when I first played Master of Fate and that urgent help needed, define urgent, I was like, did Nikki write the dialogue? Because I think I've had that
Nikki, are you here?
conversation. It's like out of body experience. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I had that exact conversation not 2 hours ago with my bestie.
Melodic Wave is still still me texting you. I'm sorry. I now understand why you never took me to any corporate events that you ever had when you needed a +1. I can't. You gotta not be here.
Bestie,
like a
please.
party for kindergartners.
Oh my god.
When he shows up and says, "We're besties," I died. I called you and just gave a string of apologies because I have absolutely introduced myself to your friends that way.
Yes, you have. It's the fact that you like
Besties.
and it wasn't even like the first memory you were having some kind of existential crisis. The second memory didn't help you. By the fourth memory, I legitimately remember you going, "Dear God, I groomed you for this man."
I mean, if all of them to groom you for.
He is a green flag. I mean, I appreciate
very
you
much
for
a green
setting me
I'm
up
here
for that.
you,
But I
girl.
was like, Silas's
you.
energy is very comforting. I don't understand why. My bestie walks in the room. Oh, that's why. Got it.
My cat on my black cat on my shoulder. I'm wearing a suit. Hey.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
So Gamescom.
Yep, Gamescom.
We won! Like,
yay!
We did the thing, Mom!
You did the thing. So I want to ask you,
Okay.
what do you think this award is? What does it mean? All that good stuff.
What is this award? We done good. That's the extent of
We done good.
Like-
And you were like, free stuff. I love free stuff.
I mean, essentially that was my hey, Gamescom happened. Cool. We won. We did. We got some free stuff in the mail. You should probably check that. Thanks, bestie. Opens up app, gets free stuff. Like,
of course, then my next text was, you have no idea what any of this means, nor do you care. The fact that I was going to have to be in Cologne this week.
no clue whatsoever.
That's why you wanted me to feed your cat. Got it. Got it.
Gamescom. It's a place where everybody comes together and talks about games, and there's probably trailer drops. Like,
damn, girl.
I don't know.
It's cool.
And I'm a video gamer, which is really funny. I just tend to avoid cons and comms.
All right. So Gamescom is as it sounds. It is a game developer conference, different than GDC, which happens in March in San Francisco in the US. Gamescom happens in Cologne, Germany. It is actually the largest game developer show in the world. It's an industry event. Gamescom is unique in that it does trade for the first few days and then it opens up to the public afterwards. Gamescom is broken down into several parts. It has DevCon, which is more academic. We have some indie discussion, all that other stuff. And then Gamescom, which, by the way, if y'all ever need to get your steps in, there's 10 halls. It's fun, like, cruising around the show. Yeah, you get to play the games, you get to talk, you get to have the meetings, all that great stuff. Oh. Everybody's like, oh my god, Game of the Year, Best Mobile Game Award. So one of the things I want to make exceptionally clear is Love and Deepspace won for Gamescom 2025 Best Mobile Game Award. What that means is, of all of said games that were mobile at Gamescom, this is the one that won. This is not like a Game Awards thing by, Jeff Keighley going out and doing all that stuff. This is just for what's on the show floor.
Mm.
And if I were oh, oh, we're not I'll talk to you later.
That's an offline discussion. Got
That's an
it.
offline discussion. G4 TV, I'll leave it at that. So the competition this year was Genshin Impact, Toyoverse, Knight's Enfield, Dungeon Crawler, Servant of the Lake, and Love and Deepspace. So this award for best mobile game started in 2022. It hasn't been around for that long. And there's like 15 different award categories, everything from best trailer to best booth. Now, how the voting works is it's publishers, I believe you can pay to nominate a title, and then it goes to a jury of journalists, game journalists, and it's either content creators or people on the show floor. So it's like this combination of jury and community. Big things to note about Lads winning. It's the first time an otome game has ever won Best Mobile Game at Gamescom. But it beat out Genshin, who had been nominated through 3 or 4 times, however long that game's been out. And this is best mobile game, so it's games that are, I believe, purely mobile, which is interesting that Genshin's in there because it has a console counterpart. But I'm surprised, again, going back to Infold, that Infinity Nikki wasn't put up either. They put in Lads, very specifically.
Question.
Yes.
Do you think that the reason they held back on Nikki is because all the shenaniganry that happened around Nikki, and they were like, let's not test fate on that?
I think that was probably a part of the consideration, but honestly, I would say that Nikki is more of a console game than a mobile game.
Fair,
I
it
would
evolved in that direction, yeah.
It evolved in, I believe too, I think it's built on a Unity engine. I think it's more console forward than mobile than Lads is. Um, the other thing that like everyone has been talking about is, oh my god, potential female focused games are a thing. We have a joke for those of us who work in the industry. When it's your birthday, we go, "Hey, are you still in the demographic?" So we're asking if you have aged out of being a male 18 to 34. However, males 18 to 34 were the initial gamers back in the 80s and 90s. Everyone forgets that the first video games actually came out in the 50s.
I'm sorry, what?
Secondly, yes. Today, welcome to class.
I'm trying to picture my grandpa playing video games. What?
Yeah. Technically, the first video game that was ever created was made in if I recall, 52. By technical standards, you always think of maybe Pong as the first video game,
Uh-huh.
right? Those were arcade games. Technically, the true first game came out in the early 50s after the invention of the electric display.
What was the name of the game?
The very first?
Yeah, you didn't say that bit.
Tennis for Two,
Oh,
I think.
of course it was
Of course.
tennis.
Yeah.
Pong, tennis. That's noticing a trend.
Tennis for Two is the one that I know best in the 50s.
Uh-huh.
There were some others that came out in 52. That were technically, it's a game that was defined as human interaction with programming. And I believe one was a checkers game. It's always checkers.
Congratulations, I just Googled it, and according to Google AI, the first video game is widely considered to be Tennis for Two,
Thank
created
you.
by physicist William, I'm gonna butcher this last name, Higginbotham in 1958.
So, going back to Gamescom 2025, we've seen the return of the single player narrative title, where you get to go, you're playing as a single player, you're not playing like a MOBA title where you're on a team. It's like, I'm going to do a story from end to end, like Zelda, Horizon, that sort of stuff, God of War.
My shit.
And I think you're going to start seeing an expansion of, oh, we can say we are a female focused game. So I think you're suddenly going to start seeing this copycat vibe, not necessarily from a gacha perspective, but maybe different feature sets and different marketing terminology.
It's like, it was really funny when I came in, and I think it was about a month after I'd started playing Lads, that there was suddenly this internet explosion where men had discovered Lads existed, and suddenly it was this girls are gooners and da-da-da. No, there is a difference here in terms of what you're doing and what we're doing, because our characters actually are fully realized and have emotions, and it's about a relationship. You're doing something else entirely different.
The Gamescom aspect, I think it's a good thing to be like, hell yeah, otome game, hell yeah, female focused, however you want to say it. Just a shift and a diversification of what is being considered in the public space of what a game is.
And that's really cool. Like, that's what I'm here for. And Caleb's abs, and Silas's eyes, and jaw, and neck, and shoulders.
No, I'm sorry,
and back.
Zayne's got the best eyes.
Okay, I will give you that. Zayne's eyes are absolutely
And we're back to
stunning.
simping.
Yes, there we go. That was all very intellectual, but for a moment, can we talk about Zayne's eyes? Those eyes are seriously well designed, but also just stunning. It's the eye shape for me, actually, that really, like, I think that's part of the reason why I'm a big fan of both Zayne and Silas's eyes. I have a thing for that eye shape. But God, they're gorgeous. And you shouldn't have distracted me in that fashion. We were having we were doing so well. We sounded so intellectual and together, and now we're back over here being like, collarbones. Or is that just me? Probably just me again. You simp, just quieter. Don't even go there with me.
Totally.
Basically,
Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna let Mama be up here and be the loud one about it while I quietly look like I'm the responsible one.
You had me do research on Chinese law this week. You're welcome.
I didn't expect it to go that route. I was just like, hey, can you talk a bit from your perspective about what's going on here? And then I get hey, so I had to go learn about Chinese law. And I went, it was foolish. And that's not even my jam or my source of experience.
You worked at the law firm. I just got yelled at by legal people.
I did work in law. To be fair, I was HR adjacent, and I focused on training and coaching and mentorship, not in actual, though I did attend those trainings.
Who's doing legal lines now for the podcast, miss? I'm going to remove 5 of yours when I'm editing.
I had to weigh those. I did my best. I'm still learning about all of this. I'm doing the best.
It's okay.
But, yeah, so.
Again, no one chooses marketing. Marketing chooses you. Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreaker.
And that's why most of my profiles all say, let's go break some dawn.
You're such a sim for him. I love it. It just lights up my soul.
Yeah.
Especially when you were also talking about, hey, gamers do all of this. I'm like, yeah, that's us on a Sunday with our charcuterie board, because that's how we game, people. We do a whole Sunday thing.
In college, we would do cupcakes and pizza, and now I make a charcuterie board. Oh God, the mac and cheese.
And ramune and pocky. And now we're like,
we have no metabolism.
Now we're like, we're gonna do cucumber sandwiches and some veggie crudité.
We should do cucumber sandwiches.
We haven't done that in a while. It's like we elevate. I don't know this whole Mountain Dew Dorito thing. We don't know them.
No, everyone's got to go through that phase.
Everybody does. We have ascended. We girl game, and we do it very well. All right, we probably need to bring this episode to a close, but before we go, I did want to highlight our first comment ever on our podcast and give them a shout out. And it's Lenora3385. They are our first commenters. Thank you so much for your comment. We really appreciated that. And to the 4 of you that subscribed on YouTube for @MamaVoid-Nix, thank you. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us for these and our wild, wacky conversations.
And if you have any questions that you want us to talk about, let us know.
Seriously, drop a comment. We do. I am reading those obsessively.
Okay, Caleb.
Look, I don't have multiple monitors and a secret room. I have not gone that far. So, until next time, kids.
Have fun.